back then, was a man body count in your mind? So if somebody was experienced, let's say you met a guy, he only had sex with one girl before you. Would that have been an issue?
No, he a lame.
Yeah, he a lame too.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
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 That's how it was.
Yeah. So there go that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Like what?
so you okay? He a
Like,
lame.
yeah.
So you want an experienced guy?
Yeah.
Then.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Then.
Like, yeah.
Then.
So
Yeah.
was you dating older?
No. Well, yes, because I mean, but only a couple years.
Couple years,
Yeah.
couple years.
Yeah.
No?
See, y'all.
Mine was, for the most part, they're in my age group. So
But he had
nobody
to
really
been smashing already. You couldn't just be no.
Couldn't be.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
You had to know a couple girls that he already had talked
Right.
to.
Or I did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
See, that's the difference.
Yeah.
Because, word travels fast. So you
Right.
know
And the crazy part about it is, and I want y'all to just look at this. And really look at that, just pay attention how stupid we were then. Pay attention how stupid we were then.
Now we stupid.
We
Man,
really-
there are people out here that's just as
naive.
saying
Right.
stupid right
Right,
now.
facts.
That's what we
Yeah.
talking about.
But think
Big
about it like
fact.
this right now. 'Cause a friend of mine told me this, and she said, I wanted to have sex so bad. I said, "Good damn." She said, "So when I did," she said, "after that I felt empty." I said, "What do you mean I felt empty?" I said, "You on some deep shit?" She said, "Nah." She said, "I didn't know what was supposed to feel good and not feel good." And then I know a couple dudes that say, "Bro, I was in there going crazy." And then you ask the same girl, he
Yeah.
wasn't.
Exactly.
Like you really think about it.
Still to this day.
We, like, see, but like think about it. It's like
I'm
we was
knocking shit down.
think about that shit. Like and it was an older woman that told me that shit. And like, wait,
You know,
make it very clear. Way
yeah.
before I met Deja.
See, we wasn't educated on to like how to have sex.
How to
It's
have
just think,
sex.
you know, you think you watch a little porn, on put a booty call.
67.
Exactly.
No, which was 67? Which one was your favorite? 74?
102.
102? 356.
Right.
They don't know nothing about that.
Wait a minute, hold on,
What y'all
Real
watching?
shit. Y'all know about the booty talk?
No.
Booty talk?
Oh, y'all know.
I know what's the lady name?
Is this a Chicago thing?
No.
Oh,
This
okay.
is a universal thing. It's like almost 300 booty talk
Them
episodes.
boys going crazy.
No, nothing about booty talk.
No, what's that lady?
Look it up on your phone right now, and see and just see
Oh,
how many versions this shit is.
Booty
It's
talk go
ridiculous. It's like
That's what I used to watch. That old lady that talked about sex. Seen a couple porns, and then those little shows that come on late at night.
Are you talking about like real sex?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Real
all.
sex.
Taxi
Yeah,
Cab
they
Confessions
used
and
to
shit
go
like that?
crazy. Yeah, the real sex is go crazy.
Taxi Cab Confessions? Yeah.
Yeah.
Or whatever soft porn was on Showtime and HBO.
Yeah.
Cinemax.
Oh,
Right,
Cinemax.
that's
Yeah.
right,
Cinemax.
yeah.
Yeah.
I know somebody that was so thirsty, bro. You
said
know how the lines, the lines in the goddamn TV. This man used to come up there and looking at the lines to see if he can see something.
Oh, that's a nipple.
Right.
There you go.
Looking
There
through
you
the
go.
lines like,
Y'all
get
is
your ass up
funny.
there.
But nah, it was.
Yeah.
It was. You realize how much we're not taught because
Yeah,
in our
that goes
community,
for men and women.
It's not.
We don't wanna talk about
it's-
that.
One, because in the black community,
Taboo.
a lot of things is not comfortable.
Yeah.
So teaching someone how to drink, teaching someone how to have safe sex, finances.
Yeah.
Knowing how to have sex is the thing. It's not enough just teaching someone how to put on a condom or whatever goes on to protect yourself. Actually know what it means.
Yeah.
Like, I had a homegirl of mine told me that she didn't know what an orgasm was or how it's supposed to feel or just that because it was shame to experiment with your own body. Not saying that, but she didn't know her body.
Yeah.
And if you would you already know what it meant to, if you was jacking off one, oh, you out here being, you out here jacking off? Don't shake his
so he
hand.
knows,
Like,
right.
it was looked down.
You said, do I shake his hand?
Like, but it's like, it looks, it's like, you look down upon with this stuff, but it's stuff that you need to learn. So when we're young and we get into these intimate, serious adult moments, and you a dude and you going 100 miles an hour,
Right, just going wild.
And then it's pressure for you to know
right,
what to do.
and then she just going like this and shit. 'Cause she don't know what to do. She just letting
The shoulder.
she just letting dude just go crazy. She letting homie go crazy.
Right.
Cause what are you doing?
Right. And then
That's crazy.
a young lady.
This is unbelievable.
like,
He riding the roller coaster
he
going crazy.
he going crazy, and all of a sudden she feel dirty. He thinking he did something. Inadvertently, she thinking he did something,
Right.
He did something, but I don't know what it was.
and she don't know what it was.
Yeah.
And in actual fact, all he
But it
did
all
was
happened
just
so fast.
That's how I was like, I
fast,
don't really remember.
fast as shit.
It all
Right.
happened so fast.
In his
Roller
mind,
coaster.
In his mind, he thinking he
What
went
happened?
10 minutes in, not knowing, bro. You only went 2.
Yeah.
You only went,
Insane.
especially in your early days.
Right.
You wasn't going crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like we're not taught those things. So now it's like
Not
We're not
educated
taught-
on that.
We're not educated on that, but a lot of
Yeah.
stuff too we don't want to be educated on.
That's a
oh
fact.
no, no.
So
Like-
think about the people who actually wait until they're
To have
married.
sex. Ooh.
You think they
I-
educated? Do you?
No, I'm saying
Okay.
that's the problem is that
Okay.
because they're not educated and they wait, and then I've seen and heard a lot of people get divorced because they don't know, like, or because they find out it's terrible, or they weren't compatible.
Because I think we
Yeah.
think
And stuff like that.
I think we just look at sexuality as something physical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So or being
Right, after you-
or being intimate. So
Yeah.
we don't educate ourselves in just being
Yeah.
intimate in its
And it's not
Yeah.
in its entirety.
sexual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's okay, yeah.
The experience.
Sex is one of the goals. But what were you all doing up until that point?
Mm-hmm.
Were you
Intimacy
all
was being-
was it kissing? Would you find other ways to be romantic? Was you
Yeah.
finding other ways to do this? So then when you got to that point, shit, the passion's already there.
Yeah.
Now it's just about, the climax part. But because you all thought that sex was the only goal or the only option, now we get to the sex part and we everybody fiddling around, things is dry, things is well done.
It ain't me.
Well
Then you got
done.
turtlenecks.
Yeah.
Right, and all of a sudden you're like, oh shit,
So,
I didn't know.
let me ask y'all a question. Do you think you have a different experience with different partners? Like, it might be somebody like this sexual energy is crazy. Looking, yeah, but I'm saying like the energy is crazy. So it's like, is that your person?
Chemistry does not equate to
that being your person.
yeah,
Okay.
You could just have
sexual
good sex with
chemistry.
them. Yeah.
It's some niggas like-
I've had sexual chemistry with somebody that I just wasn't compatible with.
But you was compatible in that area.
Right.
Yeah.
he knew your body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And possibly vice versa.
And that's why I
So
literally
do they?
just-
So
yeah.
that's trouble.
That's
That's
trouble.
dangerous
What's dangerous?
because that person got
Something.
yeah
a part
a
of me.
hold, and that's a stronghold.
And
When they
people-
know your
and
body
Soul
like that,
tie.
yeah, that's a
honestly-
stronghold.
honestly, and people confuse that.
Yeah, that's a
People
what?
confuse good sex as
That's dangerous.
shit. Damn near I can say love
So
because
But-
it's a euphoria.
right,
It's a euphoria
Yeah.
because people don't know what they want.
yeah,
Yeah, that's true.
that's true.
Like you feel a certain way, but you don't even know what that feeling really
You see them
is.
breathing
Yeah.
heavy and shit.
So while you have this
Reincarnate.
euphoria and you having a great time, you have this great time of
Yeah.
euphoria. Meanwhile, all the rest of this shit is garbage.
Garbage.
So now you're prioritizing your euphoria than your own worth.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And that's what comes with
Right.
experience. It's the stuff kind of going back with the overall thing in this conversation, not just with sex. It's just how our experiences need to be shared to help teach one another.
Exactly.
Because like I said, the stuff that we were talking about earlier, but even with the 50-50, it's just like kind of like the base. And what that
Yeah.
really means is like, obviously that it's been brought to financial, but it's more about what can you bring, what can I bring. It's not have to be equal, this and that. So now,
Exactly.
yeah.
3, 4, 5 generations later, how do we build upon that?
Yeah.
Okay, so now how can I take your weaknesses and make it my strength?
Exactly.
How can I understand what you want sexually and what I don't want sexually? Like,
Right.
it's getting that communication to helping people out. Now, you can pass this information on, but like I said earlier, some people don't find out until their own experiences.
Yeah.
Because those are the experiences that they hold on the most.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People that even watch this can be laughing at some of the shit that we talking about then 5 years from like, damn.
They was
They
right.
was talking.
Right.
Some
They was
shit.
talking.
They was
Yeah.
on to something. They was on
So-
something.
Yeah.
How do y'all navigate this person that got this stronghold because they got y'all body? and it's a person that you're compatible with in other areas, like this, but this is the person you with, the person you compatible with in other areas. Do y'all stay away from that stronghold?
Yeah, I mean,
Like y'all
because
run from it?
Run
where we
from
running
it.
Yeah.
from?
I mean, I feel like emotionally. I mean, I feel like I can separate it.
Okay.
Because I am more interested in the emotional connection that we have.
Yeah.
And I feel like if I have this emotional connection with this person, and I didn't have it with this other person, we can recreate that sexual chemistry
Okay.
because we already have the emotional connection. You know, it's about like what he's like being honest and vulnerable with each other about, well, this is what I like, this is what I don't like, because maybe this person just figured me out and I didn't have to tell them. And that's the thing, when you just have a connection with somebody, you don't have to do all that talking. But now you have to literally teach somebody how to please you. Now you feel like, oh, we not gonna have a natural connection, but sometimes you just take that. And if you're willing to do that with somebody that you actually feel
Yeah.
connected
If
with.
something's physical, it can be taught.
Yeah.
I think a bad a bad thing people do is comparison.
Yeah.
So, like in that situation, let's just say you had someone that knew you and excited. Some people have a hard time wanting to talk and work it out with someone that they're actually compatible with
Yeah.
because they just want it to come as natural as possible.
Exactly.
This person should know my body. This person should know
Yeah.
what I want. This person should.
You're
Like
right.
you ain't supposed to teach somebody anything.
Right.
They have to still learn you. So
Right, like I
you
just
have to
like
be open to teaching.
And you
But
gotta-
it's uncomfortable. It's like we just, like he was saying, those conversations can be uncomfortable.
them conversations are uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
You
the
gotta
thing-
have 'em.
You gotta have
You
them.
have
It's
to,
not only-
yeah.
it's not a one-time conversation. It's
It's
over
not.
with.
Yeah.
The relationships, the marriage that lasts the longest are those constant conversations. They don't have to be every day, but
Yeah.
once a year,
Yeah.
some got to come up with like.
it's like the NBA. You know, you win some, you lose some. Like what you do?
But you lived.
You know what? You ain't run this play last time.
yeah,
right.
It's
Yeah.
definitely that.
It's
definitely
constant
that.
communication because every day we evolving.
Could you rather teach somebody physically or teach somebody emotionally?
Physically.
Right. It's like
Yeah.
that's too much
Because
strain trying to show, teach you, make you love me.
Yeah.
Emotional, I think, is just you gotta. Love language comes in so many different forms.
Yeah.
And I would rather say, hey, I don't like the way you rubbing me, than saying, hey, I don't feel safe emotionally or physically.
Yeah.
Because then I gotta dig deep in order to show you what that means.
And I
As
really
for
had a
saying,
situation
hey,
like that.
you rubbing me, I can say, hey,
Rub me
don't
this
touch my
way.
don't
Yeah.
touch my nipple.
And then
I'm not a nipple guy.
emotions make you cry sometimes.
Emotions make you sad sometimes. But most of all,
Sometimes. Vocals, yeah, I'm getting there.
Hold on, this off the. I did not know Food from H-Town passed away.
Nigga, what?
I just learned that
Yeah.
fucking 2 weeks ago.
Larry, I'm starting to dislike you.
DJ.
Yeah, how you know that, bro? Yeah, he died.
Yeah, this been years.
Yeah, bro,
I
you been
did not-
dead
I
for a
was-
while, bro.
I was like, God damn it, smack myself.
Bro, they had an
And that's one of my favorite songs,
TV
bro.
One had an unsung and
Yeah, I
everything.
know.
Talk about
Oh, look. I say, oh
you're
my
like,
God.
Which one?
Ain't nobody on Instagram looking at the tour.
I'm looking like.
Is somebody missing? That nigga dead.
Right.
What?
I'm
Nah.
like, damn.
So, quick question: as far as dating is concerned, how do you date today? Do you use the socials? Is it still in person? Like, how do you feel comfortable dating?
In person.
You don't do Zoom dates?
No.
Okay.
You
I was
got
gonna
your
say with my
steak?
friends.
I just want to put that out there.
You said what about the steak?
Shit, you have your steak, you have your steak. On Zoom, goddamn.
That's fine as long as I don't see him shaking the table on the other side.
Hey, we shaking that motherfucker. Might
Yeah, I'm
break it.
trying to
Might
cut
break
through
it.
that tough ass.
Are you gonna be able to chew that thing? No.
Definitely
No,
prefer it in person.
Yeah.
So where do y'all go? Like today? Like it's still like bars or
Nice subtle bars like this. Like SL's a nice date night. Shameless plug.
Shut up.
But like dinner,
Yeah.
you know, especially in the early stages, you want to go somewhere where you can talk, get to know somebody, something fun, you know,
Yeah.
like
I
to
love fun dates.
axe throwing, bowling, skating, like walks in the park, picnics. all of
See,
that fun
our
stuff.
Where you meet?
Different ways
where,
that I
where-
can see you.
I think where are you meeting? Well, like where are people mingling? Like meeting people.
These types of places, bars.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
You got to be a social
You just-
person to meet
yeah.
people. Like,
be willing to
and
be
people be
outgoing.
making that joke all the time. Like, you can't be waiting. Like, you looking for your husband. You just sit in the house. Like, they're not gonna come to the door. Maybe they do, but maybe they. You hoping that UPS man gonna be single every
Right.
time he knock on the door.
But it's possible
The
too
milkman's
that
still
even
around.
you could be sitting in your house, but somebody could have a friend for you too at the same time. So it can
But
still
more
come
than
in
likely,
the ways. But most likely you still
it's
have to be
not.
outside.
You gotta. You
Yeah.
have to put yourself out there.
I think the people who are on all the women on these TikToks and get all these rules. I don't think these women are sociable. Because I was like,
I picked up my man at the bar.
you got a man.
Chris.
But don't interrupt me again. Like I was saying, shout out to you, whoever her man is.
Okay.
We gonna do this awkward silence right now.
I mean, you can slap him at any point. You know what I mean?
My hands get sweaty.
That was gonna be a wet one.
I don't want nothing to wait on my face. Except for. But no, I just think so. Here, I've seen a lot of pretty girls come up here, and like you can tell they on TikTok and they it's this aura, this standard office that you can't approach them, but they're asking for a lot.
And they want you to approach them, but they don't.
But they don't
want
like
you to.
they don't want you to. And I'm like,
Yeah.
and I watched like maybe like 3 weeks ago. I watched a young lady sitting in that corner, very beautiful young lady, cool and everything. Well, she was cool with me. I said that, but maybe because I'm the bartender, I'm not a threat. But I watched several guys, a couple guys go up to her, and she was like, "No, thank you." Why you turned this way? Your thigh out.
What she
Hey.
have on?
It's Swap Doozy.
Yeah.
You know, it's,
Swap
What is
Lucy.
you know, hams is out.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh.
it was out.
Yeah.
But
So some, what is it? Look at like oh.
sorry, it's a language that we talk.
Well, obviously.
But
The
no,
lingo.
but it was enticing. Is that better word?
Okay.
It was enticing.
Okay.
But it was meant to attract attention.
Yeah.
Now I'm not. Let me make this real clear.
Controversial.
Just say,
I'm not
just
saying
say
very
clear
clear.
up.
Controversial.
A woman's allowed to wear anything she wants. But also too, as a me being here, when you don't want to be bothered, you're actually facing forward.
Yeah.
Like straight to the.
You're straight forward,
And you wearing something that
and you don't have to be, or you're in your phone, whatever. She's literally turned this way, like so. Her body's facing this way. Her legs are crossed. She's drinking her drink and she's looking around, like
looking
her
for
phone,
somebody.
looking-
Now,
Right.
and then, but I'm watching dudes like so. You're looking, and you want to be seen, and I'm seeing a couple dudes that I know trying to talk to you.
Yeah.
You give them the, you give them the Heisman real cold shoulder.
They wasn't the one.
I was just gonna say,
That's
what
all
they
it
wouldn't have
was,
won.
yeah.
They
No,
wasn't the one.
I get that. I get that.
Yeah.
But then you don't know if they're the ones because you didn't try either.
Yeah.
Be too shut down.
When I say
She had a type.
there wasn't
I was just
there
gonna say,
wasn't
like, if she had a type,
you
She
have
had
a
a
physical,
type.
but you have a
Looking for it.
physical type.
Yeah.
A physical
Yeah.
type is
But-
them physical types be killing me.
Physical, I say my thing is this: physical types put you in a box.
It do.
Yeah.
It does.
It
I
does.
hate them.
But people start off that way.
Facts.
And your actual physical type puts you maybe in like a 5 percentile box.
Yeah.
And if you meet that physical type, 9 out of 10, that dude does not want you.
It's about understanding what you
Physical-
want.
Yeah.
So either you need to broaden your horizons and understand what's realistic. I'm not saying you can't get whoever you want, but understand there is a
can't
pros.
get
And,
everything.
it's a pros and cons for that.
All right, let me ask you this. How
I'm
many
doing
guys approached?
About four.
About 4?
About four.
So, what? Maybe an hour or two?
Hour and a half.
Did
Hour
they,
and a
did they
half.
look differently?
All of them look different.
Okay, so let me ask you this. So, if she can get 4
One was
within an
tall.
hour and a half.
One was tall and one had locks.
No, I wasn't even going
You-
by.
yeah.
I wasn't even going by the physical part. I was
Yeah.
just saying, like,
Yeah, nigga.
there's a good chance that she can find it quicker than us doing the same thing, right? Because multiple guys gonna come out throughout the night, so she might
Right.
have an option within 10 guys of what she's looking for.
I'm saying, how do you know if you don't talk? I'm saying, how do you know if you don't talk?
So she wouldn't even have a conversation
No.
with these men. She
No,
just
no, no.
like, no, thank you.
No, thank you.
But also too, she probably not even that social.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, that's what I'm going back. Most of the women who have all these rules are not sociable enough to know, to even dissect what they actually want, because you're not even taking anything in.
Yeah.
To say, okay, yeah, this is what I want.
How do you know you don't
because
like
you're not even engaged. You just want this this ready-made nigga to come up and have a sign on his shirt saying, I'm that guy. I marked this book, I checked this book, and then all of a sudden, oh yeah, he's the guy. I can see it on this T-shirt.
Yeah.
And that's just really on paper. That don't mean.
But you have all these expectations and these preferences and these rules of what you want. You don't want him to take you here. You don't want him to take you there. Don't want to take you. You want the married nigga, but you don't want to put the work into it.
So I'm glad you just said that. You read my mind. So it was a chick on Facebook. She put up this long status about she wanted to be a wife and everything, right? And it was pretty deep. I'm like, all right, shorty, I'll see you, you know. 10 minutes later, you got a picture up there with your panties and bra on. And I'm like,
Yeah.
So I don't think she probably even understand that you can't display that type of behavior
Exactly.
if you want this wife treatment or want to be a wife, whatever. So it's a lot of women do that too. They say they want.
I wasn't posting that type of stuff on social media. Let me make that.
Yeah.
But just my behavior in
Yeah,
public.
the behavior is
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta display the behavior before you get it.
Exactly.
They don't understand that though.
But what
Yeah.
is the behavior?
I think you don't have to.
Enticing, trying to basically just making yourself available.
Yeah.
In that way, like, things that should be private for you and your partner. Like he said, posting pictures of you and your panties and bra on social media. Like, what is that getting you? The attention of a bunch of men. Why would your man be okay with that though? Like, what man is going to be okay with that? With their woman doing that, unless this is how you accept her, you know, because people do accept people in that way, you know. Like, but for me, like personally, like I'm the girl who likes to dance and stuff, and I'm juking in the parties, and I'm talking to this dude and talking to that dude or whatever, like, and I'm like, okay, like, but I want to be with somebody. So it's like these dudes are cool and they taking me serious in this moment, but it's like you don't want to talk to me outside the bar because now I'm the bar girl.
Yeah.
You know, like, so it's like, if I want somebody to take me serious outside of this, I have to present something differently.
Yeah.
You know, like, so.
You definitely. I think there is a way to do both.
For sure.
There's a way to have a good time and do whatever and show layers of yourself. Because the last thing I don't want you to not be yourself because you are trying to be something. You're trying to gain something else.
But it's
So,
a level of change that has to happen.
I'm
Yes.
saying that if you the young lady you're talking about, you put on Instagram or Facebook, hey, I'm ready to be a wife. You don't necessarily have to give your all and show, hey, this is what I am to be a wife, but you also can carry yourself a little bit differently.
Yeah.
So you say that. So if you dancing out here and you juking,
Yeah.
you can still dance with this dude and juke, but it's levels to it. You ain't gotta really get deep into it. Like, yeah, like, okay, don't go on the wall.
Now I'm gonna do a 1-2 step.
Right, like, or you know, step with him. Like, I don't have to put my ass on your manhood and grind extra
Been
hard.
all the way over.
Exactly.
Right.
And then, you know, I gotta turn around, put my. We ain't gotta do all that, but I can still just,
Yeah.
you know, hey. And then if we get close, we get close. We should be mature enough to get close and dance without it being nothing.
Yeah.
But so I think some people,
But you gotta find a balance.
you gotta find out. So I think some people, it's just understanding. Sometimes you have to demonstrate certain things if you want to go or be someplace differently.
Yeah. Fact.
If you wanna be somebody.
Hey.
You want
I
to
love
let
that
go?
song.
So.
I love that song. Like, shit.
Oh yeah, Lauryn Hill fan
Go
over there.
crazy.
No, but I only asked that question because while that makes sense, the reality is people don't understand what they want. Like I said earlier,
Correct.
Yeah.
and a lot of times they don't even understand who they are, so they expect somebody else to understand who they are.
Yeah.
Then at the same time, as men, most men that are single, or just men in general, are not looking at women as, oh, that's a nice suit.
You're right.
It was cut properly. That
Right,
blazer.
that's a blazer, nice
Right.
and cut, man. I would like to take her
Right.
out.
Right.
I'm
No, I
not
get it,
saying.
yeah.
I mean, it's like sometimes we say certain things, but don't really realize what that actually means. Like, it's while I get it, you don't want to make yourself available for everyone. But if a woman is proud of who she is
Yeah.
and what she's comfortable with, as a man, if you know that going into it, know what you're dealing with.
Right.
Yeah, but
Like,
you know that's a.
I know, I know that's a hard thing to
That's
do,
ready
but
to
that's a
blow
hard
up
thing to do for
situation.
anything that we do, though. Like a lot
Mhm.
of times, we want kind of what you were saying earlier, like this ready-made person. We want the person that we have the idea for, what we know from our brief conversations, but we don't actually understand who that person is.
Yeah.
And then we expect them to be who we think they are instead of understanding who they are to understand how to operate with them. And we find ourselves in these situations to where we, like, I don't want to say trap, but you find
Trap.
yourself in a situation where you want something that's not there.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, yeah, we, like I said, kind of to go to her example, she may not even understand how to even operate. Like,
That's
she may
true.
want that, but she
Yeah.
don't even she would wear like suits and I don't know,
I'm sure a little cleavage.
bell bottoms, whatever the
But
case may be.
well, let me say this. See,
Right.
when you
But my
Well, you-
point is this: is not like, regardless of what she's wearing, a guy is gonna be attracted to her. Or not.
Yeah, real-
yeah,
So, like I said,
1,000%. I hear that. But you know, most when you think of marriage, you think of family dynamic, right?
You
so
think of family dynamic.
I
but how
got
you
my
get there?
kids looking at their mama on the fucking internet with her panties and bra. Come on, man.
Now, are you talking about? Does she have kids?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So
she
now I
has
gotta
kids.
look at you like you a potential candidate to have my child, and you gotta display a certain behavior.
I hear you, but that's a standard that you should have
Yeah.
and you should own. But
But
you
I'm
know
saying-
what world we
But do
live
you
in now?
do you have children?
No.
Okay, because I was about to say I want to say I like to believe that most men who have children, they're looking for a woman that's going to be an example to their children.
1,000%.
1,000%.
Yeah.
1,000%. I agree with that.
Yeah.
1,000%.
There's a catch part of that. We seen men out here with their significant others. Look, she
Yeah.
different.
Yeah.
All depends on what example that you had growing
Yeah.
up. So I would want a woman if I was single when I was thinking about a wife and all that stuff, and I said, okay, I want to have kids. I wanted my wife to be a great mentor
Yeah.
to my daughter or my son, whichever one came first, or if I had both.
Yeah.
And in order to do that, she has to carry herself a certain way. So certain things couldn't be done. But also that's based on too my upbringing.
Yeah.
Like I might be used to the hood shorty and might think that's okay.
Yeah.
So I want to get somebody that I'm accustomed to. That's okay. Then all of a sudden, I've seen it happen. Look here, we've all been to the Link office.
Yeah.
We see it.
Yeah.
Or we be like, not even that. Don't put nobody in the box. But that's why I mostly saw that. The Link office.
Rationist.
You gonna get us
The Link office.
Right. Yeah. I'm gonna do a lot of cutting for you.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
But
Blue
like
car-
you said, it's
blue
the
car-
behavior. Like,
it's
But
You
you
have
know,
to-
but you know what comes with that is, I've seen people change for less. You get in a situation with someone and you present it to where, like, you know what, I may have, known you about this, and if you're that uncomfortable with it, like I said, one, you approach it so you can have that conversation. But if that person's like, you know what, I did come off this way, I want to change from you, they will change.
Yeah.
Now that may be difficult, but they're willing to make the change. Like, again, I'm not saying this like as far as like accepting someone in the long haul. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is when you first meet a person, that's not going to be the indicator. You're going to find out along the way what that person is willing to do for you.
For sure.
What you're willing to accept.
Yeah.
What you're willing to grow with.
You're gonna learn that she's more than just the picture she posted.
Right.
Yeah.
And she may even flip it like, you know what,
Yeah.
now that I'm with you, I'm not even taking those pictures no more. And she
Exactly.
put on the
Right.
suits with the bell bottoms.
The bell bottom.
8 inches
Bill
above our ankle.
The bell bottom.
But honestly, we know this though, as men, and as you all women, you all dress up. One of you all do. You hear me say that? You heard me say that, right? I want to make sure you heard me.
Can you talk?
I just want to make sure you heard me. But real men and women, it doesn't matter what you wear. We're gonna find some sex appeal in it regardless.
Yeah,
And
1,000%.
it's like,
Yeah.
it's like so. You
Look at you in that choir robe though.
shit. Look, I'm seeing some sexy choir roll members, so I ain't gonna lie. Like, look at, I've seen it.
It's a
Like,
thump under
Yeah,
that.
it's a thump on there. I see. I saw when you walk. I saw the bump. I saw the bump.
Shine on me. Shine on me.
So it's like, so I don't.
Yeah.
So I've always been the type of guy. I liked a little bit of mystery. I didn't, and granted, yeah, but I was like any other guy too. I love sundress season. Don't get me
yeah.
wrong. I fucked with it too. So I'm not gonna act like I was just. But it was for me. I didn't need all of that. Like if I saw. It's a lady I had a crush on for the longest. And the only thing I saw on her was her CTA uniform. I ain't see her in shit else. Because the only thing I saw her was at the grocery store at a certain time, and she go get. But all I saw was a CTA uniform, and I said, "Boy, stop." I don't know what was with them about them dickies and them boots and that damn vest. I don't know what it was.
They fit.
But it was good. It was rocking.
Yeah.
I'm about to say them dickies be fitting nice on
Right.
them CTA
Shit.
workers.
I tell you, the sexiest outfit in the world, scrubs. Go to the nurse. Go to the doctor's office right now and see that nurse.
Right.
Them scrubs is different these days.
Hello, nurse.
Them scrubs is hitting different. So what I'm saying is,
y'all know-
but women,
Yeah.
I think women are the understanding is more there because we can't dress provocative, so they have to see what they see already how we dress. Like we can't walk around. I don't know what they saying when they see us, but
Right.
they not saying,
Right.
oh shit,
Yeah.
he thumped. I don't know. I don't know, but
Well, y'all know the gray
so wait,
sweatpants
what-
theory.
I was
Yeah, but
just
you
gonna
just
say,
come
I was-
outside with the gray joints.
But I'm
heard
saying
that.
they have gone the ability to look outside of.
Right.
It's about how you dress more than so.
Exactly.
Right.
Now,
What's
for men,
underneath?
because
Yeah.
that's all they got. Because for them, it's we can look at a woman's ass. Okay, it's fat, no matter what she wear.
Yeah.
Y'all don't know if he rocking. Y'all don't know what he
No.
got.
Yeah.
So right there, for them, it's just
It might grow into a motherfucking chia. Chia.
We don't say- they don't know. So for them, it's more a surprise for them
Yeah.
than it's for us. I know if y'all-
Wait. You talking for them? They right here. So are
y'all-
are y'all not looking at no physical parts of
For
men?
sure.
Yeah. I'm just-
No. I'm not saying, but the physical part that makes it matter, they can't see.
Yeah.
I mean,
Sometimes.
It's a
That's why.
so y'all can imagine what's
the gray
going on.
sweatpants thing, right?
I mean, and other things too.
That's
Like,
what-
yeah.
What y'all like arms? Y'all might like a chest or arms or
I mean, I'm not
It's
really a
like-
physique person. I'm not
Okay.
really physical.
what you
But
look-
I'm just saying he's asking if we can notice it. Like,
Oh, okay,
for
got
sure.
you.
Like, yeah, if I can see it, I can see it.
Yeah.
Even the hidden part that you think is hidden is not hidden.
I'm looking.
Yeah, we be looking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Y'all go to my
Yeah.
OnlyFans page later.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all know back. So I remember one day I was in this drive-through
I even can look at a man's walk.
and you could
Oh, I
tell what's
love
going
the
on.
walk.
That's like the fourth woman that's told me.
I
Yeah.
never go.
You look at the way a
wrong.
man walking, the way he like how y'all look at how women carry themselves. You can look at how a man carries
I
himself.
watched the lady embarrass a dude.
sometimes and be like, okay.
He was
okay.
walking a certain way.
Uh-huh.
And she said, "You got little dick energy." I said, "Why would you say that to him?" She said, "Just by the way he walk." I said,
She didn't have to
"What?"
say that to him.
the
Damn.
I was embarrassed for a little because he shot a shot. He tried, it didn't work. He got mad, and he walked away. I don't know what he saw because I wasn't paying attention to his walk. But she said that shit. I said, "Damn."
That's why I had to say, women are both like they
I
will.
said,
They'll get
"Damn."
wild on you.
Like I'm like,
They looking and they
Shit.
gonna tell you what
Right.
they think.
nigga, I started walking in the mirror to see how I was walking. I just wanted to make sure I was good. I was like, asking my wife, "How's my walk? How's my walk? I want to make sure, baby, I'm good."
What I gotta change?
I don't want the women out here thinking you out here and getting what you're getting out. I want to make sure you happy, baby. But shit,
But I cut you off, Larry. You was going to say something.
When I used to go to McDonald's, you look through that drive-through window.
yeah, yes, nigga,
The pants.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It was it. It was it.
Hell
The
yeah.
male ladies,
Male ladies, yeah.
You know what? For me, it was school.
the school teachers.
No, when I was in school, 'cause I went to a charter school.
Oh.
So
Oh
uniforms.
yeah, uniform, yeah.
So
Uniforms.
that white polo and them,
So y'all like women in
and
uniform.
them gray dickies.
I'm gonna be honest with you. We don't care.
We don't
All right, we don't really give a fuck.
That's the
Yeah.
point. That's the point.
But
Yeah.
I'm saying that
We don't care.
I
Okay.
can see. It doesn't matter what you
Yeah,
wear.
it really don't.
I can see what I need to see.
And that's what the ladies don't. That's what we try to say. You don't have to get into your panties and bra, baby.
I
If
can
you
see
got
what
it,
I
you
need
got
to
it.
see.
You got it. Yeah,
It
you
don't
ain't gotta
matter.
show the world.
Yeah, you
Like
gotta
if
do all that.
you slugging for real, it don't matter what you put on.
Yeah.
We see that you're slugging. If you are heavy chested, it doesn't
Right,
matter
you
what
got
you
titties,
wear.
you got
We
whatever.
can see. You
Yeah,
can put on
you
a big
can
ass
see
sweater.
whatever.
You
Yeah.
can't hide them.
Right.
So I see what I need to see.
Yeah.
If you're ugly or attractive,
I see it.
I see it.
Yeah, yo.
Unless you're walking around with a Jason mask.
Hello.
I see it. So everything I need to see, I need to see. And for most men, let's keep it a buck. If she's got the thunder down under, she over there, thunderclapping it. Shit, it don't matter. She loose goose or tight with a foot. We straight.
Loose goose or tight with a who?
You know what it is.
Ah.
So I'm saying it's not gonna change my mind. Why?
Tighten it up a little bit.
Right, because you cracking back there. So I'm good.
Yeah.
It doesn't. So
Yeah.
women understand. A woman understands how much power she actually fucking holds.
Yeah.
Well, no matter what the fuck she's doing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I get saddened for women who don't understand the true
Yeah,
power they
facts.
actually have.
Like, come on.
But you know how
Now,
much power that
I-
is?
That's alcohol.
That's not just alpha. I'm just saying, like, you know how much. Look, what I was saying about old girl, like I said, she can, if she want to do that, she can do that, but she don't have to.
She don't have to. Right.
But
Beautiful woman. She ain't got to do all
What's
that.
the
But-
page? What's the page?
here's my what's that page?
I just want to see it.
But
Behind the scenes.
For research.
What qualities or things do you feel like makes a woman wife material? Like, what makes you say that's my wife? Because they say most men know. A man knows right away. It doesn't take a lot of time to know when you want to, if that's somebody you want to wife up.
I think that's where when a man is, it depends on where he at in life. Because at an age in his 20s, he might see something that he thought was wife material, but 30s.
What's wife material?
At my age right now,
Yeah.
oh, nobody. No, that's no,
But
no.
you
You
know
know what?
you want, right?
Oh yeah, 1,000.
Yeah.
No, just somebody that's what I've seen out here, what I'm seeing out here since I've been back out here. I desire a disciplined woman because it's a lot of undisciplined people in general. I'm not just saying women. Disciplined, respectful, and somebody that want to just hold themselves accountable.
Yeah.
You know, all this finesse and finagle, all this shit, and going off this old tutelage from the niggas and the women. All that's the problem.
Yeah.
That's a real problem with us
Okay.
going on right now. So if we could get all that out, I think we all will be really like getting along, and it'll be like an uptick in the marriages.
What's the difference now from what you would look for in the past?
I didn't know what I was looking for. I was just going off the tutelage of get married, raise a family. I really didn't know,
Yeah.
you know, because
You
I
kind of
didn't.
just did it.
Yeah, because I mean that's what you was taught to
That's what
do.
you were supposed to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a disaster waiting to happen when you operating like that.
Okay.
You know, I didn't know that at first. Now that I
Exactly.
grew, I understand exactly what I need
Yeah.
and what I'm gonna bring too as well. You know, I hold myself accountable. So
I love that.
yeah.
you wanna go?
What's the question again?
I guess I'll ask you in a different way. And you it's similar for you then. So what made you choose? How did you know Deja was your wife? Was it specific qualities you were looking for that she had, or did she make you realize?
So I think my answers have changed as I gotten older. I think in the beginning we were younger, it was trauma. It was trauma. We both were going through a lot, so we both were trauma partners. Not saying we
Trauma
didn't
bonds.
Yeah, so not saying that we didn't love each other and we weren't in love.
Yeah.
But that was a. She was trying to get out of some sticky shit. I was trying to find myself and get out of some sticky shit, so it kind of just linked. As time got on and you start learning each other and you start, I tell everybody now, I don't believe that you should move in with your significant partner too young. Because you don't know how nasty you are. Meaning, they're not saying you're nasty, but you don't know yourself
Yeah.
by yourself. So get to know yourself by yourself first, and
1000%,
then
yeah.
bring that in. Me and Dave literally did all that together. So she's learning herself. She's learning her body. She's learning her habits, her routines, while I'm doing that by myself, and then we're trying to do it together. So us going through that kind of became one. What I saw when I said this is the one was I was able to be vulnerable in certain ways. I still had some trust issues with myself that had nothing to do with her. But she was somebody that put me first. And I hadn't had that in a while. Not saying put me first differently. Not like your mother and all that other shit, but who genuinely just wants to see you win and say fuck everybody else.
Yeah.
Like, I remember I wanted to kill her this day. I was working for an inventory company, and we had to meet the bus on the west side. So I meet the bus. I take the train to the west side. I meet the van. We all pack in the van, whatever. We go to a Walmart. We do the count, and then we come back there. Deja was supposed to pick me up. Deja couldn't pick me up because she was nervous to drive the car because her plate sticker was expired.
Yeah.
So she didn't want to drive like that. She took the bus all the way to the west side just to take the bus back with me.
Aww.
That's so sweet.
I didn't think it was sweet then. Cause
Thought it was stupid.
I was expecting a car. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You look back on it now, like, damn.
Yeah. Because
She
you know the time
one
it take to be on the bus.
take the time. One, you young,
Yeah.
on the bus. You on the west side.
Yeah.
She ain't familiar with the west side like that. Dangerous,
Ooh.
and it's like 9 o'clock at night.
Often say
lot of
because
risk in
inventory that's overnight.
Yeah.
Then,
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah.
Whew.
And I'm like,
yeah.
okay. Now, luckily, a coworker of mine saw us talking because I'm frustrated in the face. Older lady, she says, "Y'all need a ride." And I didn't know how close she even lived. She lived out south where we lived at, so I didn't know how. But when I paid attention to that, I said, "Okay,
Yeah.
shit." Like, who the fuck does that? Like,
Yeah.
we're like, especially at her age,
Yeah.
she's 20, 21, 22 years old.
Right.
She's supposed to be selfish at that time.
Right.
She wasn't. Nah, it was far from that.
Yeah.
And we weren't even living together at the time. I was staying with my mother. She was staying with her mother.
Yeah.
And you did that. We get dropped off her house. She takes me to get something to eat. We go to the crib. And this whole time, like, it took me like maybe 4 years ago, I started thinking about it. I'm like, that's some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I said, okay. And she kept doing acts like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Acts like that.
Service.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
and that's why I said, okay.
Yeah.
She's literally has been putting me first for the longest.
Yeah.
Love it.
And I said, okay, this is, yeah, that was that for me with Deja.
Okay.
I won't try to be as long-winded. I guess.
Fuck you, nigga.
That's probably why you let him go first.
Yeah, I let him go first.
Asshole.
Yeah, asshole, man. I'm just keeping it real. To be honest, I'll start on the surface level. I felt the difference of before and after. The world I entered with her was something that I couldn't explain. But it's something I didn't want to go back to. I didn't want to go back to a world without her. The intangibles that came with it was I had the most fun with her. She was the most transparent, which was huge at that particular time in my life. I felt like I was in a lot of situations where I didn't know who was who. People who are great on the surface level, but when it come down to like certain things, I wasn't feeling it. So I always have to be patient to find out what was real. But with her, I felt it in those moments, and I'm growing. Like I'm constantly growing with this individual, and it's a situation that I look at like, I think sometimes you don't know until it hits you. Like, we can be looking for looks. Like, don't get me wrong, like physically, like I was attracted to her and all that, but it was just something that I felt, and that took me a while to understand why. Because it was fairly early, like really early of just being friends.
Okay.
That I somehow, some way, because at that time I didn't think I would be dating anybody for quite some time, and it just kind of worked out for us to be in that position. But yeah, like I said, and I go back to that original statement. I couldn't think of any world without.
Just because she multiplied.
She multiplied, and it's like what my gut, along of obviously thinking of the plus along with it, it just worked out accordingly. Like, it feels great to be attracted to somebody, but sometimes you have to understand why you're attracted to somebody.
Yeah.
You have to understand why you're with this person.
Yeah.
Is this person helping you? Yes. Is this person keeping it real with you? Yes. Are you in a situation, if you're in a jam, is this person going to help you? Yes. And the key word behind it is consistency. And I'm not even talking about consistently doing things, because I mean, if for the most part we surround ourselves with nice people, so on the general, until we help each other out.
Some of us do.
But as far as communication is concerned, that's been more consistent with me. I look at situations like, I appreciate the compliments, but I also appreciate the, I don't feel comfortable with this, or, I don't like you doing this, so I want you to grow better than doing this. And
She challenges you.
every day.
The challenge is big. That's
Especially
another
too,
one too.
it's
Yeah.
men want.
I'm sorry. Were you finished?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good.
Now you can talk. Thank you.
No problem. Yeah.
For men, I think, to be honest with you, it takes a lot to get underneath our skin for women. Deja annoys the fuck out of me, and I let it get to me. That's how I know. Because if it didn't fuck with me, if I didn't care,
Yeah.
I will move on.
Right.
Yeah.
I wouldn't fight it.
But that's also too, when I kind of go back to understanding yourself, at that point, or even now, I understand what works. Like, for most men, they don't want to be challenged. They don't want to be pushed.
Right.
And sometimes you may not even feel comfortable being around somebody like that that's maybe trying to help you out.
Yeah.
It has to get to a point where you have to understand what you need.
That shit's annoying.
And I think that's what's wrong with, like what Larry was saying, like before, when he got married, just doing it because it was what he was supposed to do. And it's like, we don't understand in a lot of moments what love actually is. It's not the fluffy, dovey, oh, you make me feel good, I love you, you buy me stuff. It's the person that challenges you, that makes you want to be better. They tell you when you're wrong. They hold you accountable. The way I look at it is like, the love is equivalent to God's love for us. It's constantly making you want to be a better version of yourself every day. That's the person that you love. That's what real love is. It's not about how you feel.
Yeah, and it takes a while to understand that. Like, I even would say now, I would say, even if I get mad, just tell me, because that's still I need to know.
Yeah.
I need to know.
Conversations gotta come in. Yeah.
You know what I mean? A lot of times we are afraid to even deal with those conversations, but
spare
those
people's feelings,
right?
so
But
I
them
mean,
conversations going to come up.
That's one thing.
Facts,
I'm dealing with.
right.
That's one thing I'm dealing with really hard right now. Is having them uncomfortable ass conversations because I'm in my personal relationship. I'm not verbal like that. Like, especially when it comes to them type of topics, I'm more of like, okay, cool, whatever. Then I brush it and I try to bullshit my way out of it. Deja is a fucking pit bull.
She'll let you know.
We're going to talk about this.
But see,
No
that's
matter how uncomfortable, we're going to talk. And I'm sitting there
Yeah.
and I can't.
Not to look Kim.
Right. And I can't, but because she's not letting go of it.
Yeah.
And she's told me, dude, like, some things I need to let go. But what I had to notice is if she's not letting go, it's a reason why.
Yeah.
And I had to understand I'm feeling uncomfortable because there's some shit I have to face.
Yeah.
That's why I'm feeling uncomfortable, because I have to face this and I don't want to face this shit.
Yeah.
But to
And
be fair,
she does that.
To be fair, because I know at times I can be like that. You have to understand, I sound like a broken record, and my wife, when she sees that, she's going to like get tired of me hearing to say that. You have to learn how to communicate to connect.
Always, yeah, definitely.
So
definitely.
while I may want to have the conversation, and the purpose of me want to have the conversation is not to carry shit on further than it needs to.
Right.
Like I don't want to carry this into another situation.
Yeah.
I don't even want to carry it into the next room. Like I want to get to the bottom of it so we can move on.
Yeah.
But the problem is, if you're not comfortable with it, we're not going to have a productive conversation.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
And so because that would end up leading into other conversations that weren't even necessary.
They just told me several times. She
It's
said
balance in
sometimes-
that too.
She says to me, sometimes I feel like I'm talking to a wall
Yeah.
because I've shut down. Like after I feel like, okay, you know what, you're not letting this go. Okay, and I'll listen.
Yeah.
But I'm listening, but I have no engagement.
But you listening to get it over with
Over
instead
with.
of
And I'm-
listening
and
to
I'm not-
engage.
I'm not
It's
engaging
listening
with
to
this.
connect,
And that's what
you
I'm
said,
saying.
yeah.
Like you're not
Yeah.
even. If when you trying to get to that point, it ain't helping the situation.
Right.
So even for, I'm not gonna say, I'm not saying this is your situation.
Yes, you
but
did.
just
You,
for,
you disrespect my marriage.
I'm not
That's
trying
cool.
to disrespect your marriage, man. What I'm saying, I was just giving you the viewpoint of her standpoint because she wants to help you out and
No,
solve your
definitely.
issue.
Yeah, definitely.
And I can understand your standpoint. Like if you're not comfortable with it, you're not going to give your all. So what's going to end up happening is you're not going to have the conversation you really want to have. Then eventually have that conversation later on
Right.
that hopefully resolves the issue. So you just got to understand your partner. Like some people like the combative conversation. We saw Baby Boy.
Yeah. So this is my, so to piggyback off it, because this is my last question.
Yeah.
As you as women, are you all taught to be more verbal than you would think than more than men are?
Yeah.
Like do you think that?
Yeah. I think I think women are taught to share their feelings,
Okay.
and men don't cry. Be quiet. You know, like
keep it to
it's
themselves.
keep it to yourself. Like, yeah.
Okay.
So yeah.
'Cause I've asked other women that question before, and I don't want to get deep into like I know people's personal life changes
Yeah.
how they communicate
Yeah.
and stuff like that. But I've always thought that because how we're taught is because women have to be taught to speak up because quote unquote it's a man's world,
Yeah.
and a closed mouth don't get fed.
Yeah.
So all these things, and hey, if you're sad, you got to tell me.
Exactly.
All these things. And if for a boy, like you said, hey, shut the fuck up. No more tears. Are you a mouse or a lion or some bullshit
Yeah,
like
you
that?
stop them for crying before
Right.
you even start crying.
And I'm like, so I had to notice why Deja was so comfortable, and it will come off as the combativeness.
Yeah.
She's ready for the smoke.
Yeah.
For sure.
And now that she's gotten to know me even more, 20 years down the line, she's knows how to. She catches me now. Now it's like she's got a little kid running, and now she knows how to corner me. Like, no, you ain't going nowhere now.
Yeah.
This is where we at. Now we gotta, because I've given you this exit. Now you where I need you to be.
Yeah.
And even in that, just learning to give space too, which is something
Yeah.
that I've had to do. It's like, yeah, I know I want to talk about this, but if you're not in a space to want to talk right now, I have to be uncomfortable with giving it time and space
Right.
instead of feeling like we have to get it out right now, because those heated conversations can go the wrong way and everybody.
Yeah.
Because I used to be like, what you need to process? Like that was just
Oh
blow
my God,
me.
you sound just like her right now.
Process. Like what? Why can't we just get this over with right now? But it's just like, well, do I want you to say the wrong thing to me out
That's
of
gonna take it to
anger?
another level.
Exactly. Or
Right.
would I rather
Yeah.
you calm down and we come back to this and we both have a level head? Because
Yeah.
low key, I'm really emotional and heightened right now too,
Yeah.
which is why I want to talk.
Right.
And if you know your partner well enough, you know when them conversations are at a stale point.
Yeah.
When that person is not is trying to process while you trying to rah.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's not it's as selfish as it is. We have to be unselfish in those situations. Like, all right, are we really getting anywhere?
Yeah.
Take a step back.
Yeah.
You're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
You're not moving out.
yeah.
Go in your room. Go on
Just need a
TikTok.
moment.
Just need a
Right.
moment.
Take a
And
beat.
TikTok,
eventually,
move on to that.
what's the question they ask? So what we gonna eat?
Yeah.
Yeah, real
then-
shit.
And then-
Go do the
And we're gonna
Tupac
answer.
challenge.
Real shit. But that's how.
But like I said, it's something that we are forced to learn dealing with partners, and we're not even doing that on a regular.
Yeah.
Like when you're a teacher, you kind of learn those skills because you're dealing with like 20 different 30 students.
Yeah.
When you're a coach, you learn how to coach 10, 12 players, and you have to figure out what's going to drive this player, what's going to drive that player, what's going to drive that player. It's the same thing with just like in your relationship. You have to understand your partner,
Personnel.
and you have to understand that your partner can change too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and will.
And will change. So what you thought worked yesterday ain't gonna work.
Right.
Nah,
so
it
you
don't.
have to. So the main thing is you have to stay present. Stay present with your partner.
Right.
For
Let me
sure.
ask y'all before we wrap this up. So, y'all children, you have what you have, a boy or girl?
Both.
Both, and you have a boy, right? So how are y'all parenting with them? Like, are y'all teaching them to have like emotional intelligence?
Oh, for
and-
sure.
Absolutely.
My
Or-
son is very emotionally intelligent.
Okay.
I love it. I was just talking about this just because I'm very proud of the what I produced. I feel like my son is the product of a lot of cycles that I've broken, and it's just a blessing to be able to see it,
Yeah.
right? To see him be 17 without a baby, to see him be a male about graduating high school and on his way to college.
Yeah.
I'm like, I not being out here drinking. I was drinking at 14.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like, it's just like he is really being a child and a teenager. He's living in the stages he's supposed to instead of jumping to be an adult.
Okay.
And I love that for him. I feel like when we were growing up, it was like kid, adult.
Yeah.
And most of that was because I had a baby.
Yeah.
I was pregnant at 16. So, I had to grow up or whatever. But I live my life, and I tell his dad, he will not go to therapy because of us. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Okay.
and we make sure that we have a really good co-parenting relationship. And like, he wrote his college essay about me and his dad's relationship because that's how proud he is of the way we co-parent him.
That's what's up.
So it's like we fight to make sure that we're giving him a lifestyle that we truly didn't have growing up.
But are you still question? Because I know I've heard parents say this a lot, that I want to give you what I didn't have, or give you things I did have. Do you do that as well?
Yeah, and some things healthy and not healthy.
Right.
Because I know
For sure.
because of the upbringing that I have, like just feeling like struggling, and I created a space where he felt like, well, he was spoiled, right?
Yeah.
I can have what I want and stuff like that, and now he's making his own money, and I had to really settle down and be like, okay, your phone bill is due.
Got it.
I got to teach you some responsibility.
Yeah.
Even though, as his mom, I want to be like, no, I got it,
Yeah.
because I don't want him to grow up so fast. But it's like, he has to learn responsibility too. So you got to start setting some boundaries somewhere, so. But but I do teach him to say, how do you feel? Let's talk about it. And he's very in tune with himself emotionally. He'd be surprising me a lot.
Yeah.
So with the way he expresses himself and stuff, which is very different from his dad, because his dad will just shut down. And he got,
that's
and he
a part of our generation.
Exactly.
That's what it was,
but he recognizes that. My son recognizes that's not healthy.
yeah. That's cool.
And I love that because he can say, okay, well, my dad does this, and I know that ain't good.
Yeah.
So this is the way I want to be. So.
Okay, what about you with your daughter?
Well, my daughter, she speaks her mind for sure. Me,
You never silence her or nothing, or that's just how she is.
so she has
I
her
just-
moments where she does shut down.
Okay.
Because a lot of us we come from a place of not liking conflict, and so I will
Yeah,
because
she very
in a lot of
non-confrontational.
times,
She like her mama.
Yeah, but she'll speak her mind, but then again she'll shut down depending on, of course, if she's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But I have put her in a place to tell her constantly that you have to speak up, because especially when it comes to our dynamic and our relationship, you're in the house with me every day for the most of your life. So we have to have conversation, because I have to figure out what your needs are as you continue to grow. I don't know what's going on with you, how to fix it, whatever the case may be, if you're shutting down or you're just not saying anything
Especially
at
if she's
all.
getting older, you're not
Exactly.
holding her hand all day long.
Yeah.
So y'all get that.
Yeah, so and now that she has gone away to college and she's come back home, she's becoming more bold in the things that she speaks about and speaking her feelings, because she's having a conversation.
And she finding herself.
Yeah,
She's
definitely finding
about to have a
herself.
conversation that I'm surprised she's about to
She's
have.
finding her tribe now.
Yeah, because she loved being that way at school, because it's
Yeah,
her own
she
rules.
found her tribe. She
Yeah.
found her lane. It was. I think that's when the safety net is going, you find out who
Yeah.
you really are.
Yeah. Girl, she would have been fine regardless. So
She
I would have
locked in
been
the
because
door. Let
I
her
would have
baby.
been because we was talking about me moving to where she was, but I would have wanted to move regardless. So if it was with her, whatever the case may be, she's away at school. You gonna do your thing. You away at school. I already know what that life is like. I've been there, done
It ain't
that.
the same if you in the area.
It's exactly. Thank
It
you.
ain't the same if you in the area. It's not the
It
same.
won't because
Yeah.
now
It's not the same.
it's a safety net. So
Safety net.
Yeah.
I can
She
go
knows
to
you're
mom.
She
Right.
knows
Yeah.
you're there.
Exactly. It's
So,
a safety
Yeah.
net.
oh shit, I'm hungry.
So you moved down there?
No,
already?
no, no, no,
Oh, you
no.
haven't? Oh, you haven't.
No.
Okay. No, I was going to ask if have there already been scenarios that showed that already down there, but you didn't move down there. So
No. I didn't move down there. It wasn't no way for me to move down there. No way. I have too much stuff going on up here. My child up here, my other child, he's still in high school. But if she don't feel safe, she will shut down. And I understand that. Cause I've come from an environment where I never really felt safe as a child because we come from that you do what I say
Yep.
and that's
There
just
you
it.
go.
Yeah.
Like
Yep.
you can't speak on how you feel or whatever, but I always gave my kids a safe space to be able to talk about how they feel because I know what that feels like.
I never use the phrase "stay in the child's place." with my son.
Yeah, because at the end of the
man.
day, I
I
think
never
we
will.
take
talking
away the
about-
aspect
See.
that
You can't do that. You can't do that if you asking your child to grow up first.
yeah,
Exactly.
but we're also taking away the fact that they're still humans and they still have to have this
Exactly.
experience, the same experience that we have. So you have to treat them as such. Yeah, they're our kids and we want
Right.
to keep them safe, but you still have to give them that space to experience life how we experience
Cause
it.
you realize how messed up you are. It's like
Yeah.
I really had to unlearn a lot of fucked up stuff.
Man.
Like I don't
That's-
want
that's-
that for you.
Spending half our life unlearning things
Exactly.
is crazy.
Yes.
Like, man.
It
Yeah.
is.
So-
It
but
is.
she's
But
learning.
But
She-
in the fairness of what we learn, those coming from places of kind of the same way, like them learning from
Yeah.
fucked
Yeah.
up shit to where they're
1000%,
trying
I
to
agree.
protect us in
Oh, for
certain
sure.
ways. You know what I mean? Like, do as I say is more, like I said, I'm not saying this is the case with all parents, but it's more of protection. Like,
Yeah.
don't take your ass across the street.
Right.
Don't take your ass across the street. The reason why I'm telling you not to take your ass across the street.
I just got
But
shot.
it don't-
Right,
but the
you know what I'm
problem
saying?
is it don't
They
come
don't-
with that.
they
It
don't
just
give you
come
the
with don't do
explanation.
Yeah,
that.
I'm saying that's it.
It's
I'm saying-
a-
I'm saying
so
they
some
don't-
say
they don't
like,
give you the
okay, well,
explanation.
why?
They gotta be a
It's
why.
because I said
What's
so.
the why?
Excuse
Yeah.
me.
Right, 'cause
Well, I
that's
just
it.
wanted
Yeah.
to know. Am I
Right.
going to get shot? Am I going to fall? Like, what is going to happen to me if I do
But
this?
so
Because
They bug up.
Because you gotta think about it
Stay in
too,
the
like,
child's place. I want you in here.
Like-
Take your ass out.
like as time go on, exposure is more and more and more. So a lot of these conversations are a little bit easier to have now
Yeah.
because the kids are already exposed to what you
Yeah.
can
Yeah,
raise.
one
But, you
thousand
can't,
Yeah.
but my thing is this: you can say that phrase in a child's life early, because early they shouldn't be questioning you with some stuff. But as they get older and they're inquisitive and they're not dumb,
Yeah.
we talking about like maybe 11,
Yeah. That,
11 years old
yeah,
when,
they
they can understand
Yeah.
a little bit more.
Yeah.
And you say, well, don't do that. At 11, I'm going to ask.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
I might not ask why not at 8. I'm like, okay, whatever, cool. I'm going back in the room.
Yeah.
But at 11, why can I not do that? There got to be a reason why.
Right.
Because one, if I'm seeing you do it,
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
That
why
part.
can't I not do
I'm
it? Now,
grown.
also depends on
Yeah,
Also,
that's
too-
the response.
Yeah. I'm grown.
if you don't want me to do it, then I shouldn't be seeing you do it. So
Exactly.
you need to be doing it behind closed doors.
I'm grown.
Child.
Yeah.
Man.
Last question. We wrap this up. We did talk about this briefly. Chivalry. Is that something you look for, and what is it today?
It's the
Cause that's the conversation me and my guy had like early on. All
It's
of
a
this is
luxury.
chivalry. It's chivalry a luxury. Like, but is it dead? Is it gone or whatever?
I'll never
But
hold the door for you.
I will kick you with the door.
As long as we're on the same page.
Okay. But no, I do.
kick you with
I do
the
look for
door.
chivalry, and that was also an area I had to make sure that I was catching up with, making sure my son had being a single mom. You know, even though his dad was in his life, like we lived separately. You know, so making sure I'm holding him accountable to chivalry. But it is something I look for because it's something that honestly I didn't receive a lot because I grew up in this house with my mom. So I didn't see a man be nice to me and open the door and, you know, going to dances and stuff like that. Like all of that stuff wasn't real,
Nah,
you know? So I definitely love to experience that now, you know? And that's why I spoke on that just earlier, like being the strong woman that I am, being able to be soft around my man because I want to be able to be served too, you know? So, and be safe and be a girl.
So chivalry, do you think chivalry is dead?
I don't.
I don't think it's.
I don't think
dead.
it is at all.
So the question is, do you think it's dead for a certain demographic? Because do you think this new generation is showing chivalry, or they showing chivalry in a different way?
No, I think they have it, and I think they have it in traditional ways too. I've seen young boys hold the door and stuff like that. I also seen young girls hold the door. I just think it's about how we're just how we're bringing them in and how we're showing them and stuff like that. But I think I don't think it's going to die, honestly, because
People are always gonna. Kids are always gonna be taught how to be chivalrous.
I think what it's becoming though is interchangeable. I think chivalry is becoming something that both men and women are showcasing instead of it being a responsibility of a man to be chivalrous. It's like, if I open the door, you open the door, let me in. I'm reaching across and let opening your door, even though that's not.
I tried to do that. That was just too much.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, that's something that they've said. And I think I've done it like once.
That is a dope sign, though.
Exactly, but it's just like, there's just certain things, that both
Bronx
sides are doing.
Bronx
so.
Tale. That's the Bronx Tale.
So, chivalry, just for the audience, what are the examples? Opening the door, pulling a chair, what else?
Walking on the side of the street. Walking on the traffic side.
Yeah,
I was taught
keeping the lady inside, not on the outside.
Yeah. So it's crazy how it is.
Not sitting to you with my door to the back. I mean,
Go back to the
So
yeah,
I-
you
so
won't be able to see the
I
door.
wasn't.
I gotta
so
see the door, the
the
mail.
most chivalry I did coming up young was I hold the door, and it wasn't until one day I was with him, and we were driving. I was in the front seat. We was going somewhere. I was picking up somebody. He said, "Hey man, hey Charles, get in the back seat." I said, "The fuck for?"
That's chivalry.
He said, "Cause we got a lady getting in the front seat."
Yeah.
I was like.
Mm-hmm.
Now my mind is not there. I'm like, Shorty can sit in the back seat.
Yeah.
He said, nah, get in the back. So I'm getting in the back, low key mad, because I'm like, I was good. But then, as you get older, and I had to find out another way why, but in a different manner. I know why he taught me, because it's chivalrous. But then I had to find out in a legal way why. Understanding that if you got two men in the front seat and a girl in the back, cops pull you over. Out the gate. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
What's she doing in the back seat? Y'all kidnapped her?
Right.
Exactly.
The optics look bad.
Yeah.
So if you ever notice, my cousin always tell me, hey, if you got two girls in the car, one's to the front, one's in the back, you sit in the back with the other girl. Mix it like couples.
Yeah.
Not two dudes, and you don't do that.
Yeah.
So chivalry looks like protection too.
Correct.
Chivalry is protection
Correct.
to me.
Cause I was when y'all were talking and saying different things, I thought about an experience that I had. We went on to an Airbnb, and he you stay in the car, I'ma go in, check it out, and then you come in. And I was just like, dang, okay. But I'm like, while y'all saying, I'm like, that was very chivalrous, but that's protection too.
Yeah.
Ultimately,
It's not about doing something nice, it's about protecting
it's
the
about
woman.
protecting
Even
and even present an environment of being comfortable. Like we want to, like when you guys are here, we want to make sure that if you need something to drink, if you're there, you're comfortable. Are you warm?
Yeah.
Do you need anything?
Yeah.
When you leave out, watch you walk to the door or walk into the car door. Because a lot of times people look at chivalry as this task, but if you care about somebody, you're supposed to be doing that anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it should be natural.
Absolutely.
And the only problem is I have with chivalry is, not for me per se, is some men don't know how to give it, and some women don't know how to receive it.
How to receive it.
Oh my God. Walk right through the door like you ain't
This
opening them.
generation
Right.
got the
One of Deja's friends, we had dinner at Deja's house. And her boyfriend had to leave real quick. He had to work, and they called him in early. So luckily they drove separate cars. So it was snowing outside, just kind of like this now, and she's getting ready to go. And I said, well, I'll walk you to your car. One, it's icy outside. I don't want you to fall. And two, we know how it is. You might not be able to get out your spot. So just in case I got to do it for you, you're not sitting out in the snow and it's cold.
Absolutely.
She literally looked at me and said, what for? I said, well, I want you to get to the car safe. We don't know what's outside. I just want to make sure you get to your car safe. They just look at her like she weird. Like, why are you, my man don't want you. Like, he's just making sure that's the proper thing to do.
Yeah.
And she was so appalled by it. She says, that's just never been done for me before.
Yeah.
And I get that. I wasn't mad because she never felt it, but I'm
Exactly.
like, well, damn. Because she was taking it back as if I was doing something that was wrong.
And I don't think it was that she thought she was doing something wrong. I think
It's unfamiliar.
Deja's response was correct. It's like a lot of women look at chivalry as like, you want me
Right.
because he holding the door, or he pulling a chair for me. He want me.
Right.
You gotta want me now that you being nice.
Yeah.
So like I think it was more so like no, I'm good. Like
Right.
that's your woman. Like
Yeah.
you know, like so yeah.
I can see that too.
So where can we find your show and how, when's your show drop?
We are on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Wine and Grow on everything, all one word.
WINEANDGROW.
Absolutely. And our next season coming soon. We don't know how soon. but
We
it's
just
coming.
wrapped up. Yeah, we just wrapped up season 9.
Yeah.
We just wrapped
shit.
up season 9. You can catch all the episodes on YouTube. But we kind of like the way we do our show is like a ebb and flow type of thing. So it's like we don't set a time we're going to come back. We come back with our life experiences when we feel like we built up enough to actually share with the people. Because we actually go live. Like we don't pre-record and post. Like we just go live and talk about what's going on with us. So
Well, we're going to send everybody to all your socials, your YouTube channel to
Yeah.
get that audience going.
thank you.
We appreciate you guys coming on the show.
We
Thank you for
appreciate
having
y'all.
us.
Hold on, you got something to say before we...
I'm good, niggas.
You
I'm
good?
just,
Something
we're ready to get up from next to each other.
Okay, there we go. Activity.
Activity.